Now, live from Muskegon, Michigan, this is Tiger Talks Wrestling.
Well, you guys got the audio anyways, don't get the video. I see. As it's going to keep playing. There we go. And remove that. We got 2 people in the chat, in the comment section. All right. Welcome in Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am, of course, the host Tony, joined by my friend John here. Welcome into the show, man. We've got Royal Rumble predictions on tap tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So anybody who is joining along with us can leave their predictions as well in the comment section. I'm going to see if I can get that brought up the correct way. Right here, too. Leave their predictions as well in the comment section. That's not going to show me, apparently. All right. Well, anyway, get a couple things showing up here. So that we don't have dead air. When you think of the Royal Rumble, what is one of your favorite Royal Rumble matches of all time?
Oh, well, probably, I got to go back all the way to 93. I mean, not 93, 92. When Ric Flair won the title in it.
Oh, nice. Nice pick. And when Ric Flair entered number 3 and went on to win WWE, or then WWF Championship.
Yep. Thanks to Hulk Hogan kind of getting Sid Justice stuck.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Them two have been, as in Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, have been tied to each other ever since that, I think.
Yeah.
Between WWF/E and WCW, anyway.
Then you can't forget about the one star that was tied to both of them also in WWF and WCW. You got to think about Big Man Vader, too.
Yeah. You're true. You know, for me, my favorite Royal Rumble match was 2007? Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, the final 2, where Taker finally won the Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, it took him how many times to do it?
Too many, but it's not just
got his due.
Yeah. It's not just because Undertaker won it. It's just the final 2, him and Shawn, and the length of time that they spent as the final 2 in that match. I mean, that was just something special.
Not only were they the final 2, they were the first 2 the next year.
True. They did kick it off the next year. Well, neither one of them made it to the end the next year. But
no, but it was fun to see Santino come into Shawn Michaels Undertaker.
Right? Now I got it so I can see the chat section there. Good. But yeah, been a lot of great Royal Rumbles over the years, between the matches and actual other matches on the shows.
Right.
I mean, I don't think anybody can forget that John Cena won his 16th world title at Royal Rumble a couple years ago by beating AJ Styles. So.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Not that a lot of people want to remember that one, but
yeah, and then he had the title for like 2 or 3 weeks and lost it in the chamber.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, once Randy Orton won that Rumble that year, you knew that Bray Wyatt was going to end up with the title beforehand.
Right.
It just was, I mean, it's good booking, but predictable.
Yeah, WWE has that tendency at times.
Yeah, they do.
I'll give them this much. This Royal Rumble, I think, isn't quite as predictable as some have been over the years.
No, not at all.
So I'm going through, we're talking about this. I'm looking for a page that has good, other than WWE's website, good pictures to go along for the matches as we talk about each match.
Right.
They got 6 matches on tap tomorrow night. I know they got a kickoff show, which who knows what match will be on there, but I'm sure there'll be a match on there as well. They haven't announced that yet. They might tonight on WWE Backstage, which is live at, well, pre-taped, but it'll go on at 8 o'clock on FS1 tonight.
Aren't they supposed to say who's 1, 2, and 30?
They're going to reveal who the number 1 and number 2 entrants will be in the men's Royal Rumble match, and then they're going to have a match between Natalya and Tamina where the winner will be number 30 entrant in the women's match.
Gotcha.
Originally, it was supposed
Natalya was going to be 30.
More than likely, yes, because I don't see Tamina getting that flat. But originally, they were going to reveal number 1 and 2 for the women's match and the number 30 in the men's match, but they switched it yesterday on SmackDown when they were talking about it.
Okay.
Which I hate all those options anyway, personally, because I'd rather have the surprise, especially of 1 and 2. Why do you want to spoil who the first 2 entrants are going to be?
I mean, especially because one of those is going to at least be like final 8 or 6.
Yeah. And then you spoil number 30 too. That's just stupid to me, but takes away the surprise element a little bit.
But you never know. It could be like the men's Rumble. R-Truth was supposed to be number 30, then he got attacked. Hey, there's a new
True.
surprise.
Truth and Carmella are number 30 entrants from winning the Mixed Match Challenge that year.
Yep.
Nia Jax did take Truth's spot.
And then Nia Jax will get a RKO and a 619.
Wasn't there something else in there too?
Yeah, there was one other.
I was thinking there was 3.
move.
It's the 2.
I can't remember what the other move was.
Yeah.
But that was a good Rumble too.
I know the 619 and the RKO was. Huh?
That was a good Rumble too.
It was. That was when Becky and Seth won the Rumbles a couple years ago.
Of course, they'd win it the same year.
Hey, right. I can't find a site with them, so we're just going to use this one. All right. So, of course, last year's Royal Rumble started with a match where the two guys in the match would be going on to the men's Royal Rumble match. So I wouldn't be surprised if something similar happens this year. Hence why, once it pops up here, the first match we're going to talk about for the Royal Rumble, once it pops up here, that two here's all. There we go. That's how I want that in there. The first match we're going to talk about is this match that everybody can see on their screen at the moment. The women's tag team match that was just made on, which I waited until Monday to officially make this match when Nia and Shayna were due the rematch. And I think we all figured this match probably would happen at the Royal Rumble, but that's besides the point, I guess. And then they leave the suspense throughout the entire show. Don't reveal who the actual opponents are going to be. And then it ends up being Shayna and Nia announced after Raw on Raw Talk that it'll get the title match. So, but anyway, you got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Charlotte and the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. Coming off of Charlotte, of course, is having a part of this feud, but is also having a mini feud with Lacey Evans and her dad. Asuka's also in a feud with Alexa Bliss. So juggling things all four of these ladies really are, because all four, well, three of the four will be in the Royal Rumble match as well, the Women's Rumble. Yeah. It sounds like a lot, but I'll start with this bunch. I figure Asuka and Charlotte just won the tag titles at TLC. They're probably going to retain the tag titles here, even though they don't really need them. But I don't see him dropping them back to Shayna and Nia.
Well,
You disagree?
The other way around. I think.
Yeah.
I think first they shouldn't have really came off Shayna and Nia, but I think they're gonna regain the titles, and something's gonna happen where Charlotte or Asuka somehow diffuse, and that's gonna lead into a prediction later. But it'll start a program down the line between those two.
It's possible. I have a feeling I know where you're going with that, but
Yeah.
I hope not. We'll see.
You never know.
By the way, it's Saturday. You know what that means.
Oh yeah.
Had to show it off. Had to get me
Right.
one. So, but yeah, it'll be an interesting match. Like I said last year, Roman Reigns and King Corbin started off the show. They would go on to be in the Men's Rumble. Three of these four ladies are in the Women's Royal Rumble, so I figured this probably will be a good way to kick off the Royal Rumble event tomorrow night. Wouldn't be surprised. Right. It'll be interesting to see how they go about the Royal Rumble without a crowd there. They got to have a little bit different of an atmosphere, in my opinion, than what they've been using just for the Thunderdome. But
right.
You wasn't supposed to go all the way back. What the heck you doing, you stupid thing? Right.
That wonderful technology.
Technology is not my friend tonight. That's okay. We've got 0 viewers at the moment anyway, but we're having fun.
Right.
All right. But if Charlotte and Asuka do lose, I think, like you said, there might be an implosion between the two, or I could see Lacey and Ric Flair getting involved in some way, shape, or form. I don't think Alexa is going to be anywhere near that match. Go from one women's match.
Oh, this match.
Go from one women's match to another. Yes. That one. So we got Carmella, who I'm sure will be accompanied by her sommelier, Reginald. As I see the picture decided to go bye-bye for the moment. Up against the boss, the blueprint, the standard, whatever you want to call her. As it's back.
The boss.
SmackDown Women's Champion, nonetheless, Sasha Banks. No offense to either one of these two ladies, but I'm not really looking that much forward to this match, honestly. We've seen it at TLC, and I don't see the outcome being any different, really. Maybe have a tap out, but Sasha Banks is keeping the SmackDown Women's title here either way. So that's just my opinion.
But they got to make their show interesting. I mean, there's no fans. You got to get those viewers interested. So it's probably way out of the box. But how about a double count out with a return or a surprise from another former champion? I don't know who, but someone may be interfering and take them both out.
I don't know. I think Sasha's just going to win this one pretty decisively and move on to a new challenger after the Rumble. But
yeah, because Carmella's not that good of a challenger. Let's keep it real.
Right. I mean, I enjoy kind of this new pairing of her and Reginald, but I'm not sure it's exactly championship picture material, if you will.
No, it's nothing like Mela is money.
right?
She should have just stuck with that.
I'd agree. Or went back to the Princess of Staten Island, one or the other.
Fabolous.
Yes.
Back when she accompanied, what was his face? James Ellsworth.
Yeah, I wasn't really referring to that part. I was kind of more so referring back before that when she was with Enzo and Cass, but sure.
Right, I forgot about that part.
No, we're not going on that one yet. Let's go with that one. You know. We'll dive into the 2 championship matches because I always leave the Royal Rumble matches for last. I doubt that's the order. Obviously, they'll go in because they'll probably have one in the middle of the show, one at the end, but somewhere in that area. We're going to dive into this match. Well, not that match because we just did, but come on. Work with me here. I do have something interesting to mention for that one when we get to it. As it's deciding to not want to go up to where I want it. There it is. Can you let me work with me here? I've mentioned this. The Royal Rumble pay-per-view kickoff show is on at 6 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and a bunch of the other platforms that you can find it on. The main show will be kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This match. I'm going to talk about this one before the Universal title match for a couple different reasons. It might be a first time ever, whereas the other one obviously not, but still. You got Goldberg returning to go one-on-one with Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. The main story here, as Drew pointed out last week, I believe it was, not this past Monday, but the Monday before when he was still gone from COVID. Goldberg is on a streak. He has won every single title match that he's been in as a challenger since he's come back. This will hopefully snap that streak, is what I'm hoping. Stranger things could happen, though. I mentioned that.
Right.
Nonetheless, we got Goldberg one-on-one with Drew McIntyre, WWE Championship on the line. Goldberg claiming for some reason that Drew doesn't respect the legends, the Hall of Famers, which is stupid in my opinion because Drew has respect for those guys and has proven it, but they had the wrong guy there in that statement from Goldberg.
Right.
When Randy Orton was the one that same night disrespecting a bunch of the Hall of Famers and legends on the show. But nonetheless, I don't see this match going very long because Goldberg matches don't go very long. 10 minutes, maybe tops, if that.
Yeah.
I think and hope that we see a spear jackhammer in the early parts of the match. Drew McIntyre does the same thing he did to Brock Lesnar, same thing he's done to Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, anybody that they put in his path, kick out at 1. And eventually we might see more spears, more jackhammers, but I still see a Claymore 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre retains the WWE Championship. What say you?
Well, there's 3 ways you can look at this. 1, the usual Goldberg style match. Jackhammer spear, it's over. That's not going to happen. Then you got the part where Drew kicks out at 1. And you get the Claymore 1, 2, 3. That's probably what's going to happen. But the other thing I've been hearing about is, depending on when this match is compared with the men's Rumble, we may see a cash-in.
Possible, but I hope not.
I mean, because Miz is running out of time.
Is he really, though? Because, I mean, he cashed in, but yeah, Morrison cashed in. He got his briefcase back. Who says when exactly the expiration will be, if it'll be at Money in the Bank, or I don't even know anymore. This whole Money in the Bank contract situation has been complete garbage over the last 6-7 months, in my opinion. So to me, they should have just let it die with the cash in at TLC. I don't give a crap if it was Morrison that cashed it in or not. He was cashing it in on Miz's behalf. So, but Miz should not win that championship by any means, in my opinion. Miz is a great talent, yes. He doesn't need the WWE championship, though, in my opinion. So, I mean, yes, I'm sure he would love to have another run as champion other than the one he's had. But still, there's been times where he should have had it and they didn't give it to him. So I don't see why give it to him now when Drew's as red hot as he is.
Because it's WWE.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, why take it off Otis to begin with if we're not even going to use it?
Yeah, they should have just left it on Otis and had him cash in unsuccessfully, to be honest, since they had Otis win the stupid ladder match in the first place. Honestly, Otis never should have won that. So
Otis shouldn't have been in it.
No, he shouldn't have. Anyway, the other thing I've been seeing some people mentioning on Twitter and other social media platforms is perhaps Goldberg wins the WWE Championship here. God, I hope to hell not. And then goes on to win the Royal Rumble match to then go on to face the Universal Champion at WrestleMania, which...
Oh, God.
better not happen in any way, shape, or form. But
jeez,
I've seen some people questioning that could happen. They're saying, what if this happens? That would piss off everybody. And then they would be happy to see the IWC crying and complaining because Goldberg's got such a big role in WrestleMania. Which, since I'm on the topic of WrestleMania, it has been revealed WrestleMania will be over 2 nights, April the 10th and 11th, I do believe were the dates, in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, where it was supposed to be last year. This year's Royal Rumble location has been moved back a couple years. Dallas next year for WrestleMania, and then back in Hollywood in 2 years.
Okay.
But since it's 2 nights again this year, of course they got to go big-ish, but Goldberg will be there, yes, I'm sure. He doesn't need to be anywhere near the WWE Universal Championship picture, though, in my opinion.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps if they did decide to have Goldberg go to WrestleMania in a title picture, they might have Goldberg lose here and go on to win the Rumble and face Roman at WrestleMania. Don't want to see that at all.
Nope.
Would I like to see Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at some point in time? Yes. Does it have to be for the Universal title at WrestleMania?
No.
Hell no. That's my thought.
It's kind of like the whole Edge and Randy Orton thing.
Right? And originally they were going to go with another Edge and Orton match at WrestleMania this year, which has been dropped from anything I've seen, which I would love to see one more Edge Orton match at some point in time, but again, it doesn't have to be at WrestleMania. The rubber match could take place any other time but WrestleMania. So, all right. But yeah, I still got Drew winning this. Hopefully going on, retaining that title through WrestleMania is my hope. But we'll see, because I'd love to see him enter WrestleMania with a crowd. I know there's not going to be as big of a crowd as what they would originally wanted at Raymond James Stadium, but still the amount of people that they're hoping to have there, it'll be amazing to see Drew McIntyre walk in as WWE champion, in my opinion. I'd rather see that than him walk in as challenger and win the title again.
We just don't need Goldberg to walk in anywhere near it.
Right. It was bad enough they had Goldberg beat The Fiend for the Universal title last year at Super Showdown or whatever the heck the show was in Saudi.
That was so pointless.
Yes, it was. To only go on to lose it to Braun Strowman and ended up being at WrestleMania, even though it was supposed to be Roman Reigns. Speak of the devil. So we both got Drew winning, other than you said possibly a cash-in. Didn't you say there was a third thing you were thinking too?
Oh, the third thing was the cash-in.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed the second thing then, rather than Drew winning.
Yeah, Drew winning like usual. Kicks out at 1, and then Claymore 1, 2, 3.
Right. All right. So we'll move into this match. We've seen these two guys face each other over the last couple months, but I'm still looking very much forward to this match. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, Universal Championship, last man standing. I'm going to let you take this one first. So.
Well, first of all, let's look at Kevin Owens' attempts at a last man standing match. I don't think he's won one. I think the last time he was in one was against Dean Ambrose.
Possibly. I haven't looked back, so.
So, I mean, no brainer. I like the storyline they're going. I like how they're building up Kevin Owens. But Kevin Owens is just going to fall right back down into the center of the ring, and it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 year tribal chief retains.
Not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 10, but still, all the way up to 10.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, I've also enjoyed the storyline. It was unique how they came up with Kevin Owens being put in this match after Adam Pearce was originally in the match. But
you mean Adam Pearce's injury?
Yes. Not sure I was really a huge fan of that part of it, but because you knew Adam wasn't going to end up being in this match, and that KO would. But
I actually thought it was going to be Nakamura for a little bit because of how they did in the Gauntlet match.
Can't really talk about this match without mentioning that Gauntlet match.
Oh yeah,
Nakamura looked great in that match, as you're kind of stating there. So happy to have him kind of gone back to the King of Strong style and using the old theme song, and I just enjoy it more than the theme song they were using for him, even though it was just a little bit of a remix.
Right.
I think there's going to be some big things in store for Nakamura at some point this year. I'll get into more on him in a little bit as he's part of the Royal Rumble match, but yeah, but I figured Kevin Owens would get this match. I didn't think that him and Roman were done after Roman just threw him off the stage. I didn't think that was the last we were going to see of Roman and KO's feud. So for this match being last man standing, I want to bring up the fact that Jey Uso was off of TV the last 2 weeks and has been pulled from the men's Royal Rumble match. He was not in the graphic yesterday on SmackDown for it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know why Jey Uso's been pulled from it, but there must be something going on that he's off of TV right now. So I don't think he's going to be getting involved in this match in any way, shape, or form. I could be wrong. He might come back on TV and be part of it, but that'd be a good thing for Kevin Owens if Jey Uso's not a part of this. However, in the long run,
are you going to go where I'm thinking you're going to go?
Maybe. In the long run, whether Jey Uso's part of it or not, he does have a brother who could potentially show up in this pay-per-view as well. Of course, Jimmy Uso, who last I knew was rumored to be cleared around January, around Royal Rumble time. So, but whether an Uso's involved or not, I got Roman Reigns picking up the win here. Kevin Owens is going to give him hell. I don't know how exactly Roman's going to keep him down. We've seen KO be handcuffed to the steel cage. We've seen low blows from Roman and Jey Uso getting involved in the ladder match, the TLC match, rather. Roman's going to have to dig down deep and bury Kevin Owens under something, I'm sure, pretty much, to beat him in this last man standing match.
He's definitely going underneath the announce table.
If not, something even worse. But yeah, I'm sure. Roman Reigns, your tribal chief, will walk out still Universal Champion is what my gist of it is. I've loved everything they've done with Kevin Owens in this feud. I loved his impassionate speeches he's given over the last couple weeks on SmackDown. You gotta love the little irks and tweaks on expressions for Roman Reigns, though, too. I mean, when KO mentioned that Roman was nothing more than a bully, and the reaction that Roman gave to that before he turned off the TV. I mean, it's just a little thing for right now for Roman Reigns, in my opinion.
Right.
But I very much enjoy this version of Roman Reigns. I'll mention that. I liked him even better.
The Godfather Roman Reigns. I like this.
Yes. All right. So those are the 4 other matches that have been announced anyway. Now to dive into the first of the 2 Royal Rumble matches.
That picture of Bliss.
The first one we're going to talk about is, yeah, I know, right? Once things cooperate with me, will be the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, the interesting thing for this match, to me right now, is that they've only announced 13 competitors.
I think it's 12. 12 or 13, yeah.
Yeah, 13. That's all they've announced so far. If it'll actually go to the page, it might show me if they've actually mentioned anybody else, but which isn't even half the field, which leaves a lot of room for potential NXT, Hall of Famers, legends. Who knows who could show up in this Royal Rumble match? I did see on Twitter today, though, Mia Yim did post that she did get tested today and tested positive for COVID, so she will not be a part of the Royal Rumble match.
Oh, darn. I was
As
hoping
Mia Yim
Becky would win it.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Yeah, see, they only got the 12 there, but Natalia is part of it too, since she's in a match to determine who will be the number 30 entrant.
Right.
All right. So there's even women. I don't know why they haven't announced some of the women that should be, more than likely will be in this match that are on the main roster. But the 30-woman Royal Rumble match, you got currently Nia Jax was the first one to announce she was going to be in it. Charlotte Flair, one half of the women's tag team champions, who of course looking to make history and join Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and wow, I can't believe I just drew a blank. But there's one other name. Huh?
Hulk Hogan?
Yes, Hulk Hogan. How can I forget Hulk Hogan? As the only individuals to win 2 years in a row. Which I'm sure you'll make a point on that. Bianca Belair, Bayley, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler, Peyton Royce, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Tamina, and Natalya are the only 13 competitors officially announced for the Women's Royal Rumble match. I'd have to imagine Nikki Cross will be in this match. Maybe Sonya Deville. I don't know for sure. I know she's doing her whole general manager type gimmick on SmackDown, so I don't know if she'll throw herself in this match or not. We'll see. I was trying to think if there's anybody else who really hasn't been announced for it that would seem like they'd be in there. I have seen and heard rumors that Rhea Ripley is officially going to be on the main roster and will more than likely be part of this Royal Rumble match.
About time.
Right? I wouldn't be surprised to see people like maybe Io Shirai in this match because they got to have some NXT talent in there, I'm sure.
Oh, we got to have the female Kofi Kingston, Casey Catanzaro.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if she is. Perhaps even a Naomi return in this match. That she highlight a reel herself at times in the Royal Rumble. So.
Oh, you can't forget about the big two either. Ronda or Becky.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, those are the 2 potential surprises in this match. If either one of those 2 do return, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them did pick up the win. Because I could see WWE going that route with a returning woman winning the match. But, I mean, it would make sense storyline-wise for Becky. Because she comes back, having a baby. She never relinquished the title. Have her win the Rumble, going on to face whomever the champion is she chooses at WrestleMania. Based off of the individuals we do know in the Royal Rumble match, though, go ahead. We started to give your point, so go ahead and give it before I give it.
So based off who's currently actually in it,
Yes,
it's got to be Charlotte. Because something will happen in that tag match, and it will light the feud. Charlotte's going to win the Rumble and then take on Asuka at Mania.
that's your opinion anyway.
Yeah.
I hope to hell not, to be honest. I mean, to me, it's too early for there to be a back-to-back women's Royal Rumble match winner. I know Hulk did it, years 2 and 3, I think, or something like that, of the men's, but still, that was a long time ago. Things were a lot different back then.
I mean, I don't think Charlotte's going to win just with who they've said so far. Charlotte. I think it's going to be someone totally different.
So who do you actually think is going to win it?
Becky or Ronda.
Okay. Like I said, that's what I would pick if either one of them end up in the match. But based off of who we know in the match, my pick's honestly Bianca Belair. A lot of people have been picking her that I've seen on the internet between her and Rhea Ripley. I wouldn't have a problem with Rhea winning it, but again, I don't really see what the point would be in a way to have her make her debut and win the Rumble and go right into a women's title picture. No offense to Rhea Ripley. She is a great individual talent, but I don't think she needs that, to be honest. Bianca Belair has just been – I've never been a huge fan of her. Let me put it out that way, first of all. But I think they've actually booked her pretty well, even though she lost her first match to Bayley on SmackDown. She beat her on SmackDown this past week. But just the things that they've done, I think the booking for her has been pretty damn good, to be honest, compared to what most NXT competitors get when they get called up. Yes, she kind of floundered on Raw when they first called her up, but ever since they moved her over to SmackDown, she's just looked like a bigger deal over there. I know Bayley claims that after losing to Bianca that she's got her eyes set on eliminating Bianca from the Rumble. That doesn't
be the other way around.
Yeah, that's probably what'll happen. But yeah, I got Bianca Belair winning it if Ronda nor Becky return and win it. And then I've got Bianca Belair winning it. Like a lot of people have said, I would love to see Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania.
So I do got a question for you.
What's that?
Do you think Alexa Bliss is going to have 2 different entries?
Ooh.
Normal Bliss and then Sister Abigail Bliss?
I don't know. I kind of don't think they'll do that because I don't know that they want to give her 2 spots, but that's one extra person that would lose out on a spot in the match.
Right.
But you never know.
It's okay. Mia Yim tested positive. She can have her spot.
Yeah, true. I was going to say another person that I would think possibly could win is Alexa Bliss for that matter too. But the main reason I picked Bianca over Alexa, though, is we've seen Alexa have her 2 matches with Nikki. Sorry, not Nikki. Nikki was on my mind because I got something else I wanted to mention for her. With Asuka, rather, over the last couple weeks on Raw. Yes, they didn't get a finish to their match this past Monday because of Randy Orton, RKO, and Alexa. But I still don't think Alexa's probably going to win here and then go on to face Asuka at WrestleMania from it. So. But speaking of Randy Orton, a little segue here into the men's Royal Rumble match, as he's one of the 30 men in the Royal Rumble match. I wouldn't be surprised to see, since we're on the little runway or trail, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, making an appearance, whether or not he's an entrant in the Royal Rumble match or just gets involved to cost Randy Orton the Royal Rumble match. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him in there. Now, as we move on to the men's Royal Rumble match, we do have 20 names, 20 men that have been revealed for that match.
But are they Adam Pearce approved names, or just 20 people that say they're going to be in the Rumble?
Apparently, yes. I know, it's just stupid. People can declare themselves into the Royal Rumble, and then others have to qualify to be in the Royal Rumble match.
Right.
I mean, we've gotten some pretty great matches with AJ Styles wise from that, but AJ and Drew had a pretty good match. Ricochet and AJ had a great match. Drew and AJ
good.
had a great match.
They weren't good or pretty good. They were phenomenal.
There you go. Yes, they were phenomenal. So this men's Royal Rumble match, to me, could go with anybody pretty much. Well, just about anybody winning it. But the women's match, side note here, Nikki Cross is one of those women I think will probably be in the Royal Rumble match, even though they haven't announced her. I've seen some of her posts on Twitter. I don't know if it's just her character-wise or if this is how she was actually feeling, but the fact that she's not being promoted for the Royal Rumble match and just some interesting videos that she's posted out on social media. So, but I think she'll be somebody to look to see how she does in the Royal Rumble if she's spotlighted at all. Back to the men's Royal Rumble match, though. So, unless you had anything else to add to the other part.
No.
For the men's Royal Rumble, we had Daniel Bryan was the first man to announce his entry into the Rumble match. U.S. champion Bobby Lashley followed suit, the phenomenal AJ Styles, the Viper Randy Orton, Otis, The Miz. We got King Corbin, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion Big E, John Morrison, Sheamus, Mustafa Ali, well, however the crap you want to pronounce it, taking the spot of Kofi Kingston, as he claims. Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, now the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman. And, of course, the Rated R superstar himself, Edge. 10 spots available. Surprises, I'm sure there'll be a few names that won't be that big of surprises. Will there be anybody with a big return? Who knows? We'll see. I'm hoping. Or perhaps a big debut, for that matter. Who knows?
Would you be talking about a certain Switchblade?
Perhaps.
With that big debut?
Maybe. I mean, I've heard rumors, but
Same here.
Jay White could pop up. Who knows? We'll see. I've also seen rumors that it could just all be a storyline from Jay White and that he's actually still with New Japan. So, who knows?
Yeah, I heard both.
So I think, to be honest with this match, I would love to see the individual who was originally, at one point in time anyway, slated to win this match win it, but I don't think he's going to now.
That's a big disappointment.
I'd agree. That being the Intercontinental Champion Big E. I would love to see Intercontinental Champion Big E versus Universal Champion Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I just don't think that's going to happen, though. No offense to Big E, but I just don't see the trigger being pulled on that right now. I think it comes down to, let's see, 3 or 4 guys that have the best opportunities here, and then I'll give my pick as to who I think will win it. And I'll let you give me who you think's got it. I'm not saying these are necessarily going to be the final 3 in the match. They're just the 3 guys I think have the best chance of winning. Randy Orton, again, I don't think is going to be anywhere near close to the final 3 or maybe the final 4, but I still think the Fiend's going to cost him somehow, shape, or form. So the first person I'm going to point towards is Shinsuke Nakamura. He won this back in 2018. I think his momentum is there right now. He's been on a roll. Yes, he did ultimately lose that gauntlet match, of course, but he did go on and beat he went on and beat Jey Uso the following week. It's got me thinking, because I think that's the last that we've seen of Jey Uso, so I wonder if he got injured in that match.
And then he also told Sami Zayn off. You can't forget about that.
Yes, he did tell Sami Zayn off. He looked pretty decent in the shit that ended SmackDown on Friday night.
Oh yeah.
I mean that was a huge shit fest. But
a wonderful program.
Could have picked up the Rumble. But like I said, he's third on my list of the three guys I've got that I lean towards. I just don't think it'll be him though, because I like Nakamura. I like that he's getting a little momentum right now. I just don't think he's got enough momentum and enough people behind him to push him to win this match into WrestleMania main event. My other two men, I'm torn between these two guys and who I think is going to win the match. Originally, my pick was going to be Daniel Bryan. Again, I would love to see Big E versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it go Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So my main two picks are going to be Daniel Bryan and the other person I'll mention in a minute. But if it's not Daniel, who I would love to see go into WrestleMania, get one more, perhaps maybe one last big hurrah at WrestleMania, Yesomania perhaps again, it'd be a different storyline, because this time it'd be Daniel winning the Royal Rumble and going on to main event WrestleMania instead of fighting for that WrestleMania main event spot. But how do you go against the man who revealed on Monday night that he was going to be returning in the Royal Rumble match? And the promo that he cut, not just the fact that he's been out of action, he was out of action for 9 long years. He's come back. Randy Orton took him out of action again for several months, and he never lost that world championship in the first place. Edge has me hooked. How can you not bet against Edge after everything he said? Man, what can you not say about Edge? He knows how to cut a promo more than a lot of these guys in the WWE do these days, in my opinion. I've thought that ever since he returned last year at the Royal Rumble and the build-ups to any matches that he's had with Orton since then. And I still think that Edge is probably the best promo in WWE right now. Because I think he could sell milk to a cow pretty much. That's one simile you want to put it to. But I don't know. I just feel like this seems like the point in time where Edge is back now. He's in the fold. He's in the mix. And Vince is, I'm sure, very much behind it. And Vince would be more than happy with 2 nights that we're going to have in Raymond James Stadium, putting Edge as the Royal Rumble winner to go on to face either perhaps Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, or you can always, if you want to, jump ship over to SmackDown and face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
I mean, Edge was one of those big stars back in the early SmackDown days.
Yes. So I can see a case for either one of those two, but Edge is, if not Edge, then I think Daniel Bryan will win it. But I've got Edge picking up the win here and winning the Royal Rumble match, becoming another man that's won 2 Royal Rumble matches.
Well, as much as, I mean, it's probably going to come down between Daniel Bryan and Edge. That's probably where it's going to be. Would I like to see someone else that we're not expecting? Yes. But, I mean, overall, I think, because when I originally read, it was supposed to be Daniel Bryan getting these matches at TLC and Royal Rumble. And now it's KO. So does that mean that they're saving Daniel Bryan like they did back with Kofi?
Could be.
So as much as I love Edge, I'm so happy he's back. I gotta go D. Bryan.
Yeah. I can see it going either way. So
what would I like to see happen? Drew retain. Sheamus wins the Rumble. Drew versus Sheamus at Mania.
Ooh. That would be very interesting. I think we'll get Sheamus and Drew at some point. I just don't think it's going to be.
Almost have to.
I just don't think it's going to
be
be
the Elimination Chamber.
I mean, they've got 2 pay-per-views between the Rumble and WrestleMania. They got Elimination Chamber, and then they've got what is the other pay-per-view? I know they've got one in March too, anyway. But
you know that pay-per-view, Fastlane.
Oh, yeah, Fastlane. Yeah, that the one stuff that they don't really need, but
right.
But it's better than having a pay-per-view over in Saudi, I guess.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be heading back there at some point this year.
I hope not.
Well, Vince has a long contract and a lot of money invested in Saudi, so I would be surprised if they go back there at some point.
Right.
So they don't try and give us another Greatest Royal Rumble or Greatest Survivor Series or some shit along those lines over there.
What's next? The 60-man Royal Rumble?
Yeah, right. We've seen that before. It's just been in 2 rings instead of 1.
Yep.
Called World War III, and they didn't have one person at a time. All 60 men started in the ring at once. Nonetheless.
Oh, goodness. Well, that was a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, I usually enjoyed those pay-per-views for the most part. Even though they were a clusterfuck and you couldn't keep track of everybody, but you kept track of the main people in those matches usually.
That's true.
So I think it'll be an interesting Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's gonna be weird not to see a crowd there for this. Like I said earlier, I think they've got to come up with something special for the Rumble. I don't know if it's gonna be the set-wise or what, but there's got to be something to make it feel like the Royal Rumble event is a big deal, because it is. It always has been. It's just not going to be the same with no crowd there.
Right.
I kind of wish they would have some people there like they do at the Capitol Wrestling Center, a.k.a. Performance Center, but,
So my friend just texted me. It's like, you want to know what would be really scary? If they have Randy Orton standing alone waiting for number 30, and it ends up being Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss eliminates Randy and then transforms into the Fiend.
Whoa. Well, I have heard that they're thinking of some crazy stuff to happen at the end of the Royal Rumble match, and something that would be out of left field pretty much. Nothing specific I hadn't read, but some kind of crazy ending to the men's Royal Rumble match that had been talked about and potentially could happen. So, something like that could happen. I mean, they can pre-tape things with there not being a crowd there, so.
Right.
Like they have been for Raw over the last few weeks. So who would you like to see as some surprise entrance in the 2 Royal Rumble matches?
Well, I know I've been reading. I think Melina is definitely going to be in the women's Royal Rumble.
That'd be nice.
Who would I like to see in the men's that no one really expects? Probably someone that was supposed to be a part of Legends Night, but was pulled last second. And let me tell you, I think we're going to be spitting in the face. It's going to be Carlito.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
I think Carlito is going to return for a Rumble.
I've seen a lot of people wanting to see that on Twitter, so I'd be fine with Carlito returning for it.
I want to see Strowman throw him all the way out of the arena.
Strowman probably could. I'm honestly a little surprised that Bobby Lashley is the only member of the Hurt Business that is in the Royal Rumble match. Ali, I'm not too surprised, is the only member of Retribution. But you would have thought at least MVP would want to be in the Rumble match. And who knows, he could end up being still. Man, just think of what a year has done for MVP, though, in WWE. He returns at the Royal Rumble last year. And the things that he's done, I mean, he was only supposed to be there one night when he was there at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And then he signed on as a producer. And then within a couple months, he's back being a performer. to now being the leader of the Hurt Business, which has been dominating Raw for the most part, in mid-card area at least, in upper card. But it's made a lot of difference, not only for MVP, but of course for Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander, even though Shelton and Cedric have their issues right now, and I'm not sure how they're going about, if they're going to end the Hurt Business here soon, which I know a lot of people wouldn't like, but I'm still kind of surprised a little bit that MVP isn't advertised for the Rumble match, though.
I think based on how long it's been since this number's won, I think we're gonna get another winner for number 27 because it's been 20 years since the last time that 27's won the Rumble.
Wow.
Stone Cold.
2001, yeah.
Yeah.
4 men have won from that position, so could be. So I think one surprise in the men's Royal Rumble match will be Kofi Kingston, even though Ali says he took his spot, because I wouldn't be surprised to see Kofi come out there and eliminate Ali. Because I think we're going to get Ali and Kofi at some point in time. Some people are wanting to see it at Mania, but I don't know if they're going to go long enough of a feud to last till Mania, but we'll see. But just knowing that Ali and Xavier have had their feud over the last few weeks, which I found kind of odd because they kind of just cut off the feud with Retribution and Ricochet out of nowhere. I mean, Ali kept saying they were going to keep going after Ricochet until Ricochet joined the faction, and then all of a sudden they're now focused on Xavier Woods and leave Ricochet alone. But WWE logic for you, I guess.
Right. But I think we might actually finally be getting what everyone's been wanting since 2014 or 15. That number 30, that clock's going to hit. And you're going to hear Cult of Personality playing. Because this could be the year that it finally happens.
I don't know. I'm not even going to.
Part of Backstage. And Backstage coming back, but no Punk.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Or could we see AJ Lee?
I don't think either one of those is going to happen. Unfortunately, I would love both of them to happen, but
it's been we all know what's going to happen. Dean Ambrose is going to come back and win.
Yeah, right.
Maybe a couple of years down the road.
Maybe. Not this year, though.
Nope.
I mean, Jon Moxley just made his presence felt in New Japan Pro Wrestling last night, so.
Oh, yeah.
Taking out Kenta. Hideo Itami. Oh.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, other than Kofi Kingston, I think will be in there. I think The Fiend will be involved. I'm not positive if I think that he'll... Not really sure if I think he'll be an entrant in the match or if he'll just pop in there and eliminate Randy Orton in some way, shape, or form. But
definitely the second one.
That's what I'm thinking. Just the lights go out at some point and
comes out from the ring.
Something like that. But I don't know. I personally don't think they're going to go anything too huge for a debut in either one of the two matches. Maybe a return of some sort. I kind of doubt a huge one like Punk or AJ Lee, but stranger things could happen. I just don't think they're going to try to do anything too huge with no crowd being there, because they're always piping in their crowd noises. They don't actually let you hear what the people are noises are being made through the Thunderdome. So,
right. What about a Damian Priest call up?
I wouldn't be surprised by that because he hasn't been on NXT since he lost to Karrion Kross, and I had heard he
didn't lose to Karrion Kross. He got his butt whooped.
Yeah. Whichever way you want to put it. I did see he was, before that match took place, they were talking about bringing him up to SmackDown, so I wouldn't be surprised by Priest making his debut.
Okay.
Men's Royal Rumble. Glad that. Interesting. For the women, like I said, there's so many spots available. It's hard to imagine what they're going to go with for there. I would have to imagine, like I said, a Nikki Cross, probably a Billie Kay would pop up in the Rumble match. Trying to think of who all's on the women's roster that wasn't announced for that. I'm going to look and see. Obviously, like I said, Naomi could be a surprise entrant.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to feel the glow.
If she's cleared and able to.
Right.
Could we see perhaps somebody like a Kaylee Ray, the NXT UK Women's Champion? I mean, people have some of the UK superstars have been coming over to the States now and vice versa. So Alexander Wolf did just return to NXT. Let's see. Who else are we missing? That's one person we both think could return. And if she does, that's my pick to win the Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble. She'll become the first woman to win twice. But
all right, how about this though? You're down to Becky and Ronda. They eliminate each other, and you can't tell who the winner is. Charlotte takes the title off Asuka before WrestleMania, and then you got those three in a triple threat at Mania again.
No. No, don't even put that out there.
Hey, Lana's going to return and win it.
Yes. I was just going to say. I see some people saying that too. She's supposed to be cleared to be able to compete, so I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up being in the match, but...
No, she'll just go through a table.
Maybe. You got Mandy, she's in there. Naomi, we figure will be Nia, Nikki, Peyton. As mentioned, we know Reckoning / Mia Yim won't be in there. So they pretty much got, other than Nikki Cross and Naomi and Lana, they've got all the rest of the women from Raw already announced for it that have been on TV recently. I think he will probably be Aleister Black. Will probably be
for sure.
Men's as well. He hasn't been used since he's been drafted over to SmackDown, and I just think this would be the right spot for him to return.
Maybe even win it.
I doubt that, but where has he been?
I guess he's supposed to be coming back and being part of the new Fiend family.
We'll see.
So we got Otis in the Rumble, but no Gable?
Nope, no Chad Gable.
That's bogus.
I know, right?
I mean, especially after that Battle Royal performance, he should be in.
I don't know what's going on with this guy, but I don't know that we're going to actually see much of him anymore, from what I've heard. Lars Sullivan.
You want to know who's gonna win the Rumble? He's gonna retire from the NFL again. Gronkowski, entry 30, right there.
Yeah, right. He's got the Super Bowl a week from tomorrow. What are you talking about?
He doesn't need to play.
He's going to play. Brady won't play without him.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Mickie James could end up being in the Rumble. She's cleared, from what I heard.
So what's going on with Paige?
She's out injured still with her neck injury or whatever. So
okay,
she's technically retired, I think. So
gotcha. Well, so was Daniel Bryan at one point. And
I know. She could return at some point. Who knows? But hey, maybe we see the Glamazon back in there again this year too.
Maybe.
I also heard
we're gonna see whatever happened to her.
She had a broken wrist.
Ah.
But I've been seeing she is officially cleared, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Chelsea Green show up in the Rumble.
What about the little pixie?
Could happen. She could end up being in there. Wouldn't be the first time.
Right.
Could see Ember Moon make an appearance in the Rumble. Who knows? Dakota Kai. One woman I wouldn't be surprised besides Io Shirai, though, show up from NXT. As you mentioned, Casey Catanzaro does amazing things in those type of matches, so she wouldn't be surprising. I'm a fan of Mercedes Martinez, but I think Raquel Gonzalez, I think she's going to have a little bit of spotlight shown on her in the Women's Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah, and then have her eliminated by Rhea Ripley.
Perhaps. Wouldn't be surprising. Speaking of.
Oh,
hey,
definitely Shotzi. Shotzi,
yeah, I was
100%.
gonna say, I can see Shotzi being in there.
No, the shiniest wizard's going to do it. Tegan Knox.
No, she's out injured. She's not cleared yet. But
Xia Li?
we've seen her in there before. She could pop up in there, but I kind of doubt she will because of the current storyline that they're doing with her. I don't think they want to jeopardize her winning streak in the storyline that they're doing right now with her and Boa and whoever this other mystery woman is.
It's Chelsea Green.
I doubt that. Chelsea Green is technically a SmackDown competitor, even though they have her on the NXT roster. So,
Right.
but anyway. So yeah, that's about all that we got for that. There'll be some surprises, like we said. Will there be any debuts? I don't know who all really out there is available for a big debut in the Rumble.
Jay Wright.
Besides him, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now that's a free agent that could make a debut. Really,
No.
either one of the two matches. There's so many people that are signed to or work with either AEW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan.
Well, there was a Ring of Honor guy that people were talking about. I can't remember his name, though. Skinny dude with long hair.
Does seem like there was a couple guys from Ring of Honor that left recently. Dalton Castle, I know, was one of
Yeah,
them.
that's the one I was thinking of. Was on Castle.
Could be. Who knows? Somebody like that, but I don't think they get as big of a reaction or big of a spot, if you will, as what some other people probably would. But who knows?
Well, this is WWE, so we're going to do something really big. We're not going to have fans, but we'll have Okada join WWE. Yeah, that'll never happen.
Yeah. You don't even believe it while you're saying it. What are you talking about?
Couldn't even finish it with a straight face.
Nope. No. I know what's going to happen. You're going to go through the Royal Rumble match, the Men's Rumble, and all the way until you hit number 30. And then all of a sudden, at number 30, you hear the Cleaners theme song hit. Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion.
No, much better. Get to number 30, and the first thing you hear is freaking Rico's theme song. You look so good.
No. No.
Could you imagine?
You got to come up with something interesting anyway for it, but I just hope they don't do anything too stupid or too crazy.
I'm pretty sure Jinder Mahal is going to be a part of it, especially with the
I wouldn't
India thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was part of it.
A quick elimination.
I don't know if they'll do that or not, but...
And you got to have Titus there. Titus has got to have some kind of fail.
Titus World Slide?
He's safe.
You gotta love it.
He stopped. He did it.
Yeah, right? That'll never get old.
Never.
But so anyway, to go back over all of our picks. I picked Asuka and Charlotte to retain the women's tag titles, Sasha to retain the SmackDown women's title, Drew to retain the WWE title, Roman to retain the Universal title, which I'd love to see KO win it, but I just don't think that's going to happen. And then I picked Bianca Belair and, of course, Edge for my 2 Royal Rumble match winners. So. And you said you got and Nia regaining the women's tag titles. You want to take it from there?
Sure. Sasha's gonna beat the hell out of Carmella. What do we have?
Goldberg and Drew.
Goldberg ain't getting the title. Let's keep it that way.
Better not.
So Drew's winning. Then Roman, hands down. And then with what we know for currently for who is declared into it, Charlotte for the women's, D. Bryan for the men's. Who's really going to win the women's? Becky Lynch or Ronda.
I'd be surprised if either one of those two show up if they win the match. So.
I mean, they kind of have to if they show up.
Right? It'd kind of be a disappointment, in my opinion, if they didn't win it if they showed up. Yeah. I'm going to play that as we go out here in a minute. Just kidding. All right. So, I get this set up. Anything else that you're expecting from the Royal Rumble event tomorrow night?
I don't think so. Yeah, Goldberg now.
I think that's pretty much
the title.
Yeah, right. I'm hoping not.
Right.
No. So I'm actually, just to keep from copyright infringement crap here, not going to play the video for everybody to see. We'll have the music on in the background here. Well, I'll do a little bit of the video. I won't play the whole song because still they might give a little bit of copyright stuff for part of it, but I don't care because they won't give much more for it.
Right.
But just give me a little strike. Get rid of that. All right. Again, Royal Rumble event starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Oh, before I let you go, though, what was your opinion on the announcement this past week that WWE Network, as of March 15th or 15th, whatever the date is, will no longer be just a streaming service. It'll be moving to Peacock. That you have to have Peacock to watch WWE Network starting then.
I mean, in some ways, it's a smart decision.
I mean, it is getting WWE $1 billion deal, so.
Yeah. And it's helping Peacock get subscribers.
Yes.
But I mean, and from what I hear, it's like half the price of Peacock.
Depends on which version you pick.
Well, if you can handle the ads, it's half the price.
Yeah. It's $4.99 with commercials, which I've been watching a little bit of Peacock the last couple of days. Just I'm curious of what exactly they've got on there and how things go. The movie I watched and then the show I started watching, they do like a couple commercials before you start, and then you're pretty much fine throughout, which I would kind of imagine that's probably how a live event would go on there. So I think that'd be fine. You pay $4.99 for the original tier, the non-free tier, and then $9.99 if you want non-commercials. So, which I think is fine either way. But
oh yeah, I'll definitely do it.
Yeah. be different to not have the WWE Network app anymore on my PS4 and Roku and all that
Right.
fun stuff, but might be a better way to get to it. Yeah, there's been a lot of deaths in Hollywood these days too. Say, pop star Sophie passed away at the age of 34. I see. A lot of older people have died too the last couple days, for that matter. Cloris Leachman, and I just drew a blank on who the other one was.
Cecily.
Yeah, that too, but that wasn't who I was thinking of. Who was the guy?
Larry King.
Yes, Larry King. Yes. Okay, I forget Larry King. But I'm sure there's been other names too. A lot of people, though. All right.
I just know
Larry
that
King.
if Betty White makes it through this year as well, she's immortal. She ain't dying.
Right? She just turned 99, so we got everybody beat. All right. Nonetheless, we look forward to the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. The next prediction show you and I will do won't be on here. It'll be on the Anchor page. It'll be for February's Elimination Chamber. So on tap, we have the Elimination Chamber on Anchor. Will go up. You and I got to talk still, but we might be doing something more with Anchor because I want to try and get some more listeners on there. Other than that, we've also got, after that, we'll do not just WWE pay-per-views, because we'll have AEW's upcoming pay-per-view prediction show as well on Anchor. So that should be fun. Their date, I don't remember the exact date of their next pay-per-view. I know it just got pushed back into March at some point instead of February. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll do the March pay-per-view, Fastlane. Then back here, the next prediction show, the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania.
Woo!
2-night event. We'll go over all of the information for that probably the Friday before, I'll imagine. Some point in time that day, or early Saturday, the day of WrestleMania Night 1. I'm looking forward to seeing 2 nights of WrestleMania again. It'll be interesting to see how they go about it this year after no fans of the last year's that didn't really seem quite right. But
Right.
we got the Thunderdome at least this year. Well, not just the Thunderdome. This year they're hoping to have fans there at WrestleMania both nights. So it'll be interesting. All right. Anything you want to plug?
No, I'm good.
All righty. Well then, this has been Tiger Talks Wrestling, our Royal Rumble prediction show. We are going to leave with this part of the video. I now see that there's actually a couple viewers in. If you want to leave any, they're not talking in the comments section, just down to one again. So, as I say, if they wanted to leave any predictions, go for it. But all right, we leave with the theme song for the Royal Rumble tomorrow night, Sade Wolf's Rumble. Have a good night, guys.
My lungs, pain on my tongue. I'm here to make the devil cry. It's like a drug, but I'm on the hunt. Even though we don't want to stare at the sun, looking for fun. This is the way I live my life. This is the way I live my life. This is the way I live my life. Listen to me now, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how. Listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. I'm here to rumble. think I forgot my medicine. They think I'm a mess, but I'm making sense. I'm feeling it in my skeleton. Like new intense, I'm with the suspense. I'm ready to take down everyone. I'm here to take down everyone. I'm here to rumble.